Here are 3 facts about every Pokemon type, including ones like Stellar type and triple question mark type, though the non-main types will be after the credits. We start with the most basic of types, the normal type. Ash never beat a normal type gym leader on his first try. Normal flying is the most common type combination with 27 Pokemon, which is more Pokemon than what some mono types have, such as there only being 20 mono ice types or only 23 mono bug types. Normal has the most unused type combinations: normal ice, normal bug, normal rock, and normal steel, though there is technically a normal steel type, that being F00 and Pokestar Studios. Next, we set our hearts ablaze with the fire type. Gen 5 added the most new fire type Pokemon and moves in a generation, 17 total Pokemon when you count Zenmo Darmanitan separately. And remember that Heat Rotom was only made fire electric in Gen 5, and in total 11 new fire moves were added. Fire moves can have both the highest and lowest modifier of any type. If Harsh Sunlight is set up for a user with an activated Flash Fire or Blaze, the opponent is a non-grass type 4 times weak to fire with a Fluffy ability, and they're hit with Forest Curse and Tarshaw, it'll be a 72 times multiplier. But if it's raining during an inverse battle against the same opponent, whose ability is now Thick Fat, Heat Proof, or Water Bubble instead, the multiplier will now become a 1 in 96 times multiplier. Now we have the 7 point out of 10 water type. Water is the most common type with 158 Pokemon, which makes up 15.51% of all Pokemon. The water type has the highest number of trade evolutions for a type, with 6 total Pokemon, and oddly they're all either from Johto or Hoenn. In Pokemon Platinum developer interview, Junichi Masuda revealed that his favorite type is water. Along with that, Surf is one of his favorite moves, and Psyduck is one of his favorite Pokemon. He even almost wanted Let's Go Eevee to be Let's Go Psyduck. Next, let's touch some grass for the grass type. The grass type has the highest number of stone evolutions with 12, though it can jump to 13 if you count Alolan Exeggutor separately. They also utilize the most variety of different stones, using the Leaf, Sun, Water, Shiny, and Firestone if you count Eevee. Grass is the most common weakness of Pokemon with 4 times weaknesses, with 29 total Pokemon being 4 times weak to grass. Grass type is the most common typing of the Cramomatic, a whopping 42 of the items, with most of the mints being grass type. Now let's feel the sparks in the air with the electric type. Gen 9 introduced the most new electric type Pokemon with 12, and of course, a lot of them are future Paradox Pokemon. Meanwhile, Gen 7 and 8 added the most new electric moves with 9 each. Gen 6 is the only generation to not introduce any mono electric types. In Gen 1, every electric move started with Thunder. Next, let's cool down with the Ice type. The Ice type is the rarest type of all with only 58 Pokemon, which is only 5.66% of all Pokemon. None of the Gen 1 Ice types were able to evolve, since all of them were either already fully evolved or didn't evolve at all. The Ice type is the only type excluded in Kalos' Central Pokedex. Now let's go plus ultra with the Fighting type. As you might expect, Fighting types have the highest attack on average, with an average of base 108.99 attack for all Fighting types, and that jumps to 120.27 if you only count fully evolved Pokemon. Fighting is the only type to have a type specialist in every region, and they all have either Machamp or Lucario in at least one of their teams. All fighting moves were physical prior to the physical special split, and all fighting moves added before Gen 4 stayed physical after the split. Next, let's give a big belch for the Poison type. When Platinum expanded the Pokedex for Sinnoh's regional dex, Poison was the only type that didn't have a new Pokemon added. In the song, To Be a Master, every type except Poison is mentioned. Instead, they call on a Flame type, even though they already mentioned the Fire type. Poison types have been represented with the most types in the TCG, with Poison types having been Grass, Psychic, or Darkness type, but they've seemed to settle on mono Poison types being Darkness type. Now let's eat some dirt with the Ground type. The Ground type has the highest ratio of being super effective versus resisted, being super effective against 5 types and only resisted by 2, plus one type whose immune to ground. This also means ground types fighting for being good against the most types. The power of Dig went through quite a few changes, going from 100 power in Gen 1, 60 in Gens 2 and 3, to 80 power in Gen 4. There's more Pokemon immune to ground than any other type, with Flying being the 4th most common type with 112 Pokemon, and then all the Pokemon with Levitate or Earth Eater. Next, let's get high with the Flying type.
Go Team Pie!
Flying became the first type to be paired with every other type. This happened in Gen 6 with Hawlucha and Togetic becoming Fairy type. The Flying type has the highest base speed on average of all types, with an average of 85.76 and 93.89 for only fully evolved Flying types. The Flying type was the last of the OG types to get a mono-typed Pokemon, with Tornadus in Gen 5 being the first mono-Flying type Pokemon, and Noibat was the first dual-typed Mon to have Flying as the primary type. And as a reminder, we are 9 generations in right now, and we still don't have a non-legendary, fully evolved mono-Flying type. Now we gaze into the future with the Psychic type. A Pokemon cannot quad-resist Psychic without being Psychic themselves. It's also impossible for a Psychic type to quad-resist more than one type. Since Gen 1, the Psychic type has been connected with Gold. The first Psychic type gym was located in Saffron City, with its badge being the Gold badge in the Japanese red and blue. Many Gen 1 Psychic types were gold colored, and in Mystery Dungeon, the Gold Gummy was loved by Psychic types. All Psychic moves were special prior to the physical special split, and all Psychic moves added before Gen 4 stayed special after the split. Next, let's creep and crawl around with the Bug type. Bug type is the least common typing of the Cramomatic with 4 items. Bug types have the lowest HP, attack, special defense, speed, and base stats. 57.92 overall and 68.83 for only fully evolved bugs for HP. 72.18 overall and 90.97 for only fully evolved bugs for attack. 57.25 overall and 72.74 for only fully evolved bugs for special attack. 66.50 overall and 82.7 for only fully evolved bugs for special defense. 62.29 overall and 75.61 for only fully evolved bugs for speed, and 387.78 overall and 474.52 for only fully evolved bugs for base stats, which probably isn't helped by there being no legendary bug types. Also, no bug regional forms or bugs in the amorphous or field egg groups. Now let's go on a roll with the Rock type. Rock moves are the rarest type among moves with only 26 moves, which only takes up 2.78% of all moves, and of those moves, only 3 of them are special moves, making Rock type special moves the rarest of a type. Rock is the only type to not have a type specialist in Paldea, though Time was a Rock type gym leader prior to the events of the game. Next, let's feel a shiver down our spine with the Ghost type. Starting in X and Y, it is impossible for a type combo to quad resist Ghost, unless you're able to put Purifying Salt on a Dark type. With Ash's Gengar, Ghost was the last type to join Ash's team. Until Poltergeist was added in Sword and Shield, all Ghost moves were either 100% accurate or would never miss. Now we have the incredibly talented Dragon type. Dragon types have the highest HP and special attack on average, 91.25 overall or 100.90 for only fully evolved dragons for HP, and 100.06 overall or 112.83 for only fully evolved dragons for special attack. Dragon is the most common typing for league members with 5 members, 6 if you count Drayton. Dragon has the most power boosting held items of any type with 7, the Draco Plate, Dragon Fang, Dragon Gem, and 4 legendary items. Next, let's turn down the brightness for the Dark type. Prior to the physical special split, all dark moves were special, but then all of those moves became physical after the split. Dark type steal for being the most common type Pokemon evolve into, with 13 Pokemon evolving into a Dark or Steel type. On top of that, Dark is the most common typing for regional variants, with 11 of the regional variants being Dark type. Now let's grind our gears for the Steel type. As you probably expect, Steel types have the highest defense on average, with 110.22 defense overall and 118.63 for fully evolved Steel types. Steel types were the last type to get a Team Go Rocket Rocket Grunt Specialist. Steel types Poison for being the most common Ultra Beast typing, with 3 Ultra Beasts being either Steel or Poison type. Finally, let's look at all the glitter and glow of the Fairy type. Fairy has the highest special defense of all types, with 87.13 overall and 101.38 for only fully evolved Fairy types. Fairy's the only type where none of the Pokemon have gender differences, and branched evolutions don't count as gender differences. Fairy also has the most gender-exclusive Pokemon, mostly female only. Finally, Fairy has the lowest number of physical moves with just 3, but it's technically only 2 since the player can't learn Magical Torque. On top of that, another physical Fairy move is Spirit Break, which only Grimmsnarl and Iron Valiant can learn. And there you have it, folks. 3 facts about every Pokemon type. How many of these did you know already? Which of these facts was your favorite? What is your favorite Pokemon type? Let me know in the comments below. And become a member if you're interested. It's only $2 a month. Have a nice day, you wonderful people. Here is one fact about the Bird type, Triple Question Mark type, Shadow type, and Stellar type. Pokemon types are assigned an index number in every game, and in Gens 1 and 2, the Bird type has an index number of 6. Speaking of index numbers, that's what decided whether a type was physical or special prior to Gen 4. For example, in Gen 2, index numbers from 20 to 27 were all special, and so Triple Question Mark type was a physical type in Gen 2 with an index number of 20. Then in Gen 3, if you were to hack a Pokemon to have a Triple Question Mark type move, it wouldn't be physical or special, and instead just do 2 points of damage. And in Gen 4, Arceus has a Triple Question Mark type form despite having no way to obtain it. The tutorial for purifying Shadow Pokemon shows a Shadow Loudred. However, there are no trainers with a Shadow Loudred for you to snag. Finally, Stellar type is the only type without a type boosting held item, damage reducing Berry, Gen 5 Gem, Silvally Memory, or Arceus Plate.